Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Well, this is my July 4th reading for the United States of America from birthday to birthday. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do almost a prediction of what the next year is going to bring, but I'm going to use the planetary influences. Rather than just a regular tarot reading. I wanted to show you something. Now, I have to put a big disclaimer here. I am not an astrologer whatsoever. I'm probably know just enough to be a little bit dangerous. I do enjoy watching and learning about astrology. If you want to learn about astrology, I really recommend Lori Lothian at Lunatic Astrology. She has a fabulous course. I took it last year. I don't get paid to recommend her or anything. I'm just telling you, if you want to know about how to chart your own and what's going on in your own life, because once you figure out what's going on in your life, you can kind of see what's going on in everybody else's life a little bit, right? Anyways, this is the United States birth chart. And I find what's fascinating, the little bit that I know, is their ascendant is in Libra. And we know Libra is the justice card, is the lawyer card. And look what their ascendant is. How you think about the laws and the lawyers that rule the United States. Maybe a lot of Americans don't realize this. It is the land of lawyers, the United States. You don't realize it until you go to other countries. Like, for example, I have spent a lot of time in the United States, and when I go for massages or dental work or whatnot, the forms that I have to fill out and the rights, to sue and blah, blah, blah. But when you go to Europe, it's so weird. They don't make you sign any of those papers. And you're like, aren't you making me sign any papers about liability? They're like, what? They just simply don't get it. And I just found that's fascinating. Also, Saturn is on the ascendant in Libra, and Saturn rules judges. And look how important your judges are, especially your SCOTUS judges, the Supreme Court of the United States. And how your judges are have to run and be voted in, and the judges and lawyers and laws. And honestly, unless you step outside of the United States, you don't realize how it prevails like through everything. Like, you think you can't even order a cup of coffee in California anywhere without reading. Some lawyer made sure there was some kind of sign there that this might contain cancer ingredients or and honestly, when you're living in it, it's like being a fish in a fishbowl. You don't realize that you're swimming in water until you get outside of the water. And so I just found that really fascinating. Also, what opposes them over here is Aries, which is war. And they are I'm not going to say the warmongers, but they are involved in a lot of wars. And I just did that thing. Is America the new Atlantis, or is it Atlantis? With how many Navy ships and how they travel the world and how they have their hand in things all over the world. And so I just thought that was kind of fascinating. Another thing I find really fascinating is that their fifth house is Aquarius. And the fifth house is, it's the Leo sign. So it's like how you rule the world, and children, and actors and actresses and whatnot. And so this would show us that the United States is very proud of its technology. Very proud of its technology. Also, the moon is in Aquarius. The moon in Aquarius is somebody who's a know-it-all. And there is some vibe of that with America. I'm not saying Americans, please, I'm not saying that. America, that they kind of push their way into things and they know better than you, and they're loud and proud about it. That's also the fifth house. And then in the 11th house, the one where it is all the public and whatnot, and the people, is Leo. And the American people are so proud to be American. They don't want to be royal, right? This isn't royal. They've kicked the royals out. There's no royal in their fifth house at all. It's Aquarius, which is the people. So this shows us there's no royalty in their fifth house. But they are proud. They're very proud, proud people. Very proud to be American. Um, I'm almost coming up, like, I remember, and I never bought into this. I've got lots of family who are Americans. Uh, I've never bought into this. They called it the ugly American. And I've never seen that. I've only seen kindness and politeness and um, camaraderie actually with Americans. But many other people do. They find them crass, and well, they call them the ugly American because they're loud and proud, and that's showing up right here in the fifth and 11th houses. Another thing that I find fascinating is in their 12th house, which is that is illusions and whatnot. And we also have Neptune in their 12th house, which is illusions and film, and it's Virgo, and they have perfected the entertainment industry. They are there is no level above the American movie and illusions. I mean, they not only do they have Hollywood, they have Disneyland and Universal Studios. Like, they're the perfectionists at creating alternative realities. And there they are in their 12th house in Virgo, which is the perfectionist, right there. I thought that was really fascinating as well. Another thing is, too, look at their 10th house, which is Cancer, which is the motherland and mother and whatnot. And that's their sun sign, Cancer. But look at all the stellium, all the planets in the 10th house, which is leadership, right? And they are absolutely leaders in so many things. For example, leaders in automotive, in um, different, I don't know, let's say you say CIA, FBI, things around the world. Um, flying, right? They invented flight. They've invented so many things, and they're leaders in all those. We have Mercury there. Everybody looks at Wall Street, right? It could be crashing in China, but unless New York Stock Exchange, unless Wall Street, which is right here, as long as they're doing fine, the world kind of feels safe. Okay, you're having a blimp in your country, but Wall Street is okay. Wall Street's right here. The sun is also very masculine. It's interesting, the sun in a more feminine sign, but they're constantly like, who's going to be the first female president? There will be one eventually, for sure, because it shows us right there. But that just goes to show the father is in the motherland kind of thing. It's very interesting. We also have Venus up here, and they are leaders in beauty. Not necessarily always in the best regard. You think of all the plastic surgeons that are there, and they're leading in, you know, plastic surgery and beauty standards, right? Here's your beauty standards. What's the beauty standards? Well, let's go back to Hollywood. And what they push out as beautiful is the standard up here in the 10th house. All right. And also, I notice, if you notice, they don't have a lot in neighbors, brothers and sisters. So that doesn't mean they don't have any neighbors. It's just, it doesn't really mean a lot to them, right? Canada and Mexico are basically their neighbors, and not really, I mean, that tight with them. Sure, we're big partners, but they can do without Canada and Mexico, to be honest. Mexico and Canada can't do without them. Another thing is, I found this interesting in the health and jobs. We have Pisces. And Pisces is hospitals, and we all know they have massive, massive hospitals down there. Universities, They've got Mars and Uranus. So very aggressive in their universities, although that has been changing. What else do we have? Taurus is in Taurus and Scorpio rule their money access, and what's hidden under Taurus here, and you think the bull market and whatnot, and you have to, and here's their fortune. So other people's money. Well, the stock market only makes money from other people's money. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So that's just a little bit that I know about astrology. So that's what the stars. This is what the planets look like the day that United States was born in, and this is what it was based in Philadelphia on July 4th, 1776. And at noon, I believe it was noon 17 by the last time, but by the time they started the signatures. And I just thought that was just kind of interesting. I just didn't know if you would also be interested in that. So I'm going to do the planetary energies for the United States for birthday to birthday. And I'm going to use the Mystic Palette Tarot as the planets. And then I'm going to use the Aquarius cards. I just think that now that I see the Aquarius in the 5th house, I'm more and more believing there's something about Atlantis in the United States that is connected. I don't know whether it's reliving the past or the United States America will become the Atlantis that Plato envisioned. But there is something about Atlantis and America that is tied together. So anyways, let's see. So for the United States, July 4th, 2025 to July 3rd, ooh, the Hermit. There's that Virgo, but they might feel alone in the world, perhaps other countries not acknowledging them. All right, July 4th, 2025 to July 3rd, 2026. What kind of energies do we have going for the United States of America? Shall we begin? Oh, interesting cut, just a few. Now, just to remind you, I only read these right side up, but I do use this deck for other purposes. So if the cards show up in reverse, oh, I forgot to turn my lights on. If the cards show up in reverse, that just means I just turn them over. All right. So the moon, and the moon is the mental, what is the mental vibe of the population? What are people thinking of the United States? What are they thinking of the future? And this is for the general population. How do they feel about things right now? The Hierophant. I'm telling you, I've done that. When I did the yearly reading, I said return to a tradition, even, and watch for more Christianity. The mental people, the thinking of people right now is a return to religion, a return to tradition. They're also looking for a guru, for a leader, somebody they can trust, somebody who is honorable. But this is definitely reaching out to something. People may be returning more to church or returning more to their religious or spiritual roots. Doesn't necessarily mean they go to church on Sundays, but perhaps they start praying before they eat, or grace at every meal, or looking more at their spirituality. So that's the general population right now, is looking more for a spiritual leader, somebody to step forward. This also could be showing us that somehow the new pope has something to do with the new spirituality that's coming out, because it's generally used to be called the Pope card. So I wonder if there's something there. I wonder if Catholics are returning more to their roots. becoming more vocal. Like you look at Kennedy is, I believe, the Kennedy family's Catholic. I don't know whether he's a practicing Catholic or not. Perhaps that has a lot to do with it too. But it looks like people are now, they are returning to tradition. They are returning back to Christianity, how they feel that the roots of the country were founded upon. All right, so this is interesting. Communication and e-commerce. Now, communication, that could be social media, what's going on there, censorship of freedom of right to speak your mind. This also could be how the economy is going to go. Let's find out. Death, transformation. So we got two big major arcanas already. There's going to be a huge transformation in the economy. We can go back there and look and see, does that mean the way money is spent? Is that digital currency? Is this big transformation? Are we going to see more freedom of speech? Are we going to see throttling of some ideas and some, but some ideas and some economy and parts of the economy are going to die, and some are going to be reborn. Remember, we got a whole year to go here, so we'll get back to that, and we'll clarify that a little bit more, because that's huge. That's a major arcana card, which means we have to pay attention to it. Also, death is Scorpio, which starts October 23rd to about November 21st-ish. And also, not only many other readers have said that by October the economy will be much better. So does this mean by October things will be better for the economy? So like I said, we'll go back and clarify that. Relationships. And I'm going to take this as not personal relationships, like how is the president's relationship going to go, or how is yours? This is America. So what's the relationships going to be like with some of the countries that they are dealing with? We're talking about tariffs. We're talking about different peacekeeping type of things. Page of Pentacles. We're going to hear a lot of offers and stories about that. I think we're still going to see a lot of offers coming and going with the tariffs. Tariffs are on, tariffs are off. Peacekeeping is on, peacekeeping is off. But I like this Page of Pentacles because a Page of Pentacles is always trying to sell you something. And if anything, Donald Trump is a salesman. I mean, he wrote the book, The Art of the Deal. So if anything, he's a salesman. So him as representing the United States, is he trying to sell trade deals and trying to sell peace treaties? And he's giving all these offers and trying to sell all this stuff to the other countries. So in some respects, this is like an offering. It's not an invite to come in and be in a relationship. It's like, you should be in a relationship with us because this is what we can offer you. Almost business transactional relationships with other countries. What can you do for me, kind of thing. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that's what the energy is going to be like. So here's the sun, and the sun is how the rest of the world sees you, and how you want the rest of the world to see you. So let's find out what that is. Knight of Cups, offering. Now, offering, they want to be seen as the knight in shining armor. And that's also a Mercury card. So they want to be seen as the knight in shining the knight in shining armor, bringing offers. Right here we got offers. Here we have offers. So they want to be seen as the knight in shining armor. We're going to stop this WAR. We're going to, let's get a trade deal. Here's our offer for trade. You know what? You're nice to us, we'll be nice to you. But here's our offer, and if you don't take it, we're going to take it back, because the Knight of Cups in reverse is, we're taking that offer back. That's off the table. So they want to look like, and they'll be successful in looking like the knight in shining armor, which is a lot better than the knight with the knife that's coming to attack you, right? So I think that's a lot of peace treaty, peacekeeping, believe it or not. All right. So here's Mars, the Tower card. What is the objection here? What's the aggressor towards the United States? Burdens of the past. 10 of rods or 10 of wands upright. Burdens and choices that were made in the past. Consequences of things that were made in the past is a burden right now on the United States. Perhaps burdens that other presidents have made over the years. And I'm going back way back to 1979 with with Iran and that whole takeover. There was a different president in different things that have the states have done as, and they were unintended consequences that they're now living with. So we do have some aggressors, and the aggressors are based on their burdens right now, and they're based on unintended consequences of previous decisions that they are carrying around. Also, they carry the burden of being the peacekeeper, of being the guy who carries the big stick in the playground. That's part of their burden as well. Uh, Whether that was intended or unintended, somehow the United States carries the burden of, well, we'll step in and we'll sort this out, kind of thing. Other countries specifically ask for their help. Ukraine, they constantly are asking for help from other countries, and especially the United States. And that's a burden that the United States has to carry, and they're going to continue to carry that. And that's the consequences of their previous actions, and that's what their headwinds are right now. All right, Jupiter. Well, how is Jupiter smiling upon the United States? And that's expansion. Let's see what's going to expand. Oh, Wheel of Fortune on Wheel of Fortune. Oh, my Lord. Expansion, expansion, expansion of all things good. The Wheel of Fortune is double. That very rarely happens. If you watch the channel a lot, you know that very rarely happens. Especially Wheel of Fortune on Wheel of Fortune. So whatever you're going through now, by the time we get to this time next year, it's going to be fortunes are going to expand, economies are going to be fine, wherever. But this also can tell us that there's expansion of debt. Jupiter expands everything. It can expand your waistline, it can expand your debt, it can expand uh, good things in your life as well, right? So this is like the United States on steroids. So their economy is going to expand, but so is their debt. Their population is going to expand, so are their troubles, right? So we're going to see all kinds of expansion over the next year. All right, so under Saturn, which is burdens and work. And that's one thing I have to say also, I noticed the American people are hard workers, very hard workers. They only get, they're actually amazed at what other countries get for maternity leave, for vacation time, uh, stat pay, stat time off. Like they're constantly amazed. They are very hard workers, very hard workers. A lot of them work 50, 60 hours a week. They're all in when they're all in. All right. Let's go to work and burdens. Oh, the Hermit card. And when I was pre-shuffling, the Hermit card came up. I think they are going to rise to the top. Like you have to remember, the Hermit is also the Sage. And I think that under work and burdens, I think a part of their burdens is going to be being a world leader and rising to that top. This is going to be a really big year for the United States. We have 4 major arcanas, plus 2 court cards and a 10. We don't have anything minor here. Nothing is going to be minor this year. This is going to be kind of like a roller coaster. Hang on to the rail, because it's going to be a wild ride this year. I think with this Hermit card here, I think that they're actually, this is the work card. This is the Virgo card. I think this is going to be working quite hard, but rising to the top. So whether this is with AI, inventing new, um, something I mean, this is the sage, so this is somebody who is taken lifetimes of experience and has created something that everybody else wants. The thing is, with the hermit, you have to approach the hermit doesn't approach you, so you actually have to seek out the hermit. So in some respects, they're going to have to seek out some of the thought leaders in the United States to look for guidance. Also interesting, I just noticed on this card here, I don't know if you can see it or not, little white dog, Hermit, which is Virgo, also rules pets. Maybe there's going to be something about dogs or pets this year that are going to become very important. Pets are very important already to a lot of the American people, but for some reason, pets are going to become very important, or something to do with a pet is going to become very important. I almost see, too, the United States working alone. They're the knight in shining armor, they're bringing this, but it's not like they have a full body of other people, other countries standing behind them. I'm getting that they're going to be working a lot on this on their own. And we could see that during the G7. Trump looked like a fish out of water, and he laughed early. Well, there was something else going on, but you could tell. I mean, not only in height, standing head and shoulders above everybody else, you almost got a feeling like he's like, "What am I doing here? None of these people are my allies, really. We're all trying to get trade deals and whatnot." And I think we're going to see some of that too. That's going to be a bit of a burden that the United States are going to be alone. Look at that. The clock agrees with me. So, like, if they enter, some kind of airspace, it's not like it's a coalition like NATO, for example, right? So it's not like, a coalition of, the Brits and the French and the Americans, we're taking turns going in. I think we're going to see a lot with the United States working on its own in the next year. What's the underlying? 10 of Pentacles. Wow. Another 10. I'm telling you, you guys, you are going to be amazed by this time next year. United States is setting itself up as a legacy year. I think that as much as there's struggles right now with the economy and whatnot, I think that's going to turn around, and we have that transformation here. And I told you we're going to clarify that. 10 of Pentacles is big money. I'm telling you, these are all big cards. If you're going to get a pip, the 10 is the biggest you can get. We got core cards, and then we have major arcanas. I think this is going Wheel of Fortune, and we have the 10 of Pentacles there. A big year. This also tells me between the Hermit, 10 of Pentacles, Hierophant, Death, I'm almost getting a sense that the United States is winding down. I think we've seen peak United States, and like every empire or era, right? I mean, at one point, the sun never set on Britain, and now it's diminishing. The Roman Empire, right? The Ottoman Empire, Genghis Khan, like everything has a cycle. And I'm almost getting a sense that we are now, I'm not saying that America is going to be in decline, but you think of, like, by the time you get to retirement, you have all your assets built up, and you've been successful in what you've done, and it's time to start winding down. And that's what I'm seeing here, because if it's your lifetime, Jupiter's up to age 67. That's when you make your most money, between 55 and 67, if you've played your cards right? Between 55 and 67, you start to peak out at your profession, your career, your job. That's when you make the most money. After 67 is when things start declining. You go into your Saturn time, and it's time to really shut things down. And we can see this with the hermit here, the old man, right? And the old man, he's learned everything he's done. He realizes what's valuable in life, and he goes off to the mountain, not to become a guru, but to move on to the whatever the next level is. And I think I think we're going to start to see that. When Trump talks about the golden age of the United States, he's right. You are going into your golden age, and then what comes after your golden age is um, the rapid decline. That's just it's just life. And I don't know, I can't tell you that's going to start happening next year, 4 years, 10 years, but it's coming. I think you're definitely in the last years of your Jupiter. Here's the legacy, the retirement card. I think you're in the last years of your Jupiter, and you'll soon be going into your Saturn time. And Saturn time can last anywhere from 1 year to 30 years, really. So, that's coming. All right. So let's clarify what's transforming here. Mercury. What's Mercury transforming? What's Mercury transforming? What's Mercury transforming? What's Mercury transforming, please? What's Mercury transforming? Clarify the death card on Mercury, please. Oh, the star. Aquarius. I think I'm the very first one to say that America is transforming into Atlantis. And what happened to Atlantis when it reached peak? Well, the water hit and it is no more. I think you're transforming into Atlantis. Peak technology, peak everything right here. And this is also hope and healing. So hope and healing for the economy, for freedom of speech, for anything mercurial, right? Which is also Virgo, which is right here. Like this, it's just amazing how much this all matches up. Really, it is. Another major arcana. I think this is going to be a pivot year, and let the good times roll, because you are going into the golden age, and what comes after the golden age is retirement. Like I said, whether we're going to see it in our lifetime or not, it depends how long it takes to play out. I think this Jupiter card has been since the 80s. That's when it really started to, the stock market and everything really started to pick up. And I think we're going to see the end of that soon. And we're going to enjoy some more golden age time. And then the decline, the slow and steady decline will happen. And before you know it, America will be underwater once more. Interesting. What do you think? Happy birthday. Happy Independence Day. And God bless. YouTube's going to show you another video you possibly haven't seen. Why don't you click on that? And I'll see you over there. Take good care. Bye for now.